Welcome to this rodeo ticket tutorial. Today I'm going to show you how to set up category groups. So you'll log into your account, and then you'll see all of your rodeos for the year here. We're of course going to use our English rodeo. This is our demo event that we use for tutorials. So there we go. All right, so you'll see that we've got several different types of registration here. If I wanted to put it in groups, right, because some of these are kids events and others of these are more for adults. So we're going to put them in category groups, and that can help kind of clean up the registration view here on the dashboard, and it can also make it a little bit easier on your registration form. Instead of just seeing a list of categories, people will see groups, and they'll show you what that looks like with category groups at the end. So we're going to go to edit registration, add category groups. All right, one important thing to note here is when you're adding groups, there are a couple of ways to do it. You can add a visual group or you can add a limit group. And if you're adding just a limit group, nothing changes visually on your registration form. It's still going to be that list of all of your categories that people will select, and then they'll fill out the registration form. If you're adding a visual group, then all of your categories have to be part of a visual group. Otherwise, they will not show up on your form. So we're going to add a new group. We're going to say kids. It's going to be Met and Destin and stick horse race. I'm going to have it be just a visual one because there is no overall limit that applies to both of these. They have their own individual registration limits for each of those events. And then if I want to show this on the dashboard, I'm going to check this one, and then we'll go ahead and save. So really quickly, I want to show you what it looks like if you have ungrouped categories on your dashboard, just so you see how that navigates. So I've got my ungrouped categories here. When I click this tile, that's what shows. Here, if I just want to see what's going on with the kids events, I can click that and I can click back here. So it's just a way to filter down more of your event here. We're going to go back and get rid of our ungrouped categories because we want them to show up on our registration page. So and again, I'm just going to have this be visual because each individual category in this case, there is no overall limit that applies to these. Each event has their own distinct limit here. And then I want this one to show on the dashboard. So we'll go ahead and save that. And then, if you didn't want a category to show up on the dashboard, if you didn't want this view, then you could, of course, have these not show on the dashboard. So that would just return to the original view that we had when we started. It just depends on how you want your dashboard to look here. So now we're back to the original view. But let's look at the registration page really quick so you can see what that looks like. All right, so we've got our registration page here. I'm looking for a kids category. We've got those here. So I'm looking for one of the adult categories. Got those here. Now, wild cow milking is a team event, so we need people to create a team, and that's why this one looks a little bit different. If it's just individual, we've just got bull poker here. So that's what it will look like on your registration form. It's pretty nice, and it helps kind of keep your form clean, especially if you have a lot of categories. Thanks for tuning in. Have a good one.